started as we're waiting for one more member to join us. And of course, I don't have anybody in here to discuss their late filed, so we'll come back to.
I'm here.
You're here. Okay, what do you have? Okay, item 5, late file. Oh, sorry. Ooh. Welcome to Rules, Confirmations, and Public Elections for February. Nope. January 17th. The chair does not have a quorum, but we're going to get there soon. And so, Vice Chair Rosenberg, would you like to discuss why you need to suspend the rules that you have helped written?
Yes, I'd be happy to. This memorializing resolution with no impact on city governance was late filed because the only other option since the game occurred after the filing deadline would have been to file one prematurely, which would have been in bad form. And the reason to go ahead and do it now is because it is timely and active and 3 weeks away from our next meeting, and with no legislative impact, it seems harmless to do so.
Do you have any problems?
I do not.
Okay. We'll wait and make a final decision when we have the rest of our friends. Not the friend I was looking for. Well, there we go. There's a friend I'm looking for. All right, Council Lady Evans, just to catch you up, Councilman Rosenberg was trying to have manners and not jinx the Cane Ridge High School on alumni, yada yada, and so we've got a late filed memorializing resolution. Do you have any issues?
No.
Okay, great. Rosenberg, we're fine with that.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Nash, you've got late filed conveying Metro Council's request that Vanderbilt University Medical Center and Humana resolve their dispute regarding reimbursement rates expeditiously and in such a manner as to maintain current services for all Metro employees, retirees, and pensioners and others throughout Davidson County without disruption. Can you explain the late nature?
The late nature is we obviously just became aware of this on Monday, past the deadline for submitting resolutions. But given the nature of this impasse and the number of employees and other citizens of Davidson County that have Humana Advantage plans, I think it's important that we try and encourage both Humana and Vanderbilt to negotiate good faith. Remember that they're affecting the continuity of care for a population that generally sees and needs more medical assistance, and so try and getting back to the table and act in good faith.
So I appreciate you also going over the content because that is on here. So we're going to vote on whether we're okay with that and then on content. So I'm going to motion, we have a second to have that before us. I appreciate you bringing this. I think that the broader discussion and the next step that we need to have is why the administration told us when we made this change to force our retirees and pensioners onto a single plan, that they were told that something like this would not be happening to them. They wouldn't lose their providers. And so I think that this is a broader Metro government failure as well. And so I appreciate that this takes care of that piece, but I think that...
If I might, that was spoken to in health, and these are two major, we've got a major healthcare provider and a major insurance provider. Generally, they have evergreen contracts. I mean, very rarely do you see this kind of event. And I can tell you, as someone who's had all three plans, this Humana plan was designed for Metro and very rich and a good plan for the retirees with no anticipation that something like this would be going on. And certainly as our discussions going on, well, if this does go forward, if they don't reach agreement, then we'll have to maybe look at letting folks opt into other plans. But I don't think it was done carelessly or to disadvantage anybody. It's highly unanticipated.
With all due respect, even the letter from the administration told us of how this has happened with St. Thomas before, with Blue Cross Blue Shield. With Vanderbilt before, with Blue Cross Blue Shield. And this is about access to health care and choice in health care. And the council allowed, Metro government allowed ourselves to take away access and choice to our Metro pensioners. And I think that it is worthy of a conversation in the future that the Civil Service Commission or the Benefits Board look at that again. So I appreciate this being brought, but my point is that we could have done more to provide access to care, choice in care, and then our pensioners would, while they would be in this situation potentially, they would have other options. And right now they don't because of decisions that the Metro government made.
Part of that context, though, is if you remember, there's many in this community that think our post-retirement benefits are extremely rich, and that many employers don't provide that kind of ongoing health care in retirement. And moving people, you're going to save the city a lot of money, those unfunded liabilities that the numbers crunchers all look at. We were going to provide good care, but still lower that unfunded liability was the reason we did that.
And I totally understand that, and not to argue it with you here, but I feel that while we may be saving the Metro taxpayer dollar and number crunchers money, I think Metro retirees clearly got the short end of the deal. And when it comes to access and choice in healthcare, that we don't need to necessarily be making decisions solely on the financial. So I'm definitely supporting this, but I think we have to also acknowledge the part of the situation that got us here is the fact that we gave them only one choice, and that they can't switch to another provider, maybe stay with to another insurance provider and stay with their healthcare provider at the time. So, do we have any issues with late filing?
No.
Okay. So we're on the resolution. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? All right, we'll see you on the floor. Late filed SWAR, yes, there you are. Celebrates unveiling a historic marker to honor Kurdish Americans in Nashville and Davidson County. So we're on the emergency filing and the resolution content. Can you address, do you want to hit both or one at a time?
I can do both.
Dealer's choice, go for it.
All right, appreciate it. Former Councilmember Mendes started talking about doing an historical marker to talk about Kurdish in Nashville and the achievement and all of that. It was a long time ago. And so when they started talking about it, they started talking with district council members. And since we cannot discuss stuff, apparently I did not know that it was actually coming to fruition so soon. And so by the time I saw it, I just got the invitation to attend on Saturday. And I'd intended to do a resolution to go with it, not just the marker itself, but also just discuss the contribution of the Kurdish community and what it means to Nashville. And so that's what the resolution is doing, but I wanted to do it so that it's not two separate things, a marker and a resolution. I'm thinking that it would be great to present the resolution on Saturday when the marker is being unveiled. This Saturday.
Okay, I got lost there. I got lost on
This Saturday. So we don't have another meeting.
Yeah,
So
okay,
that's
got you.
why.
I was thinking you did this last Saturday.
No.
I was like, you had a very busy weekend then. All right, so emergency filing, any issues with getting this in? All right. Resolution content, Dave?
Move approval.
Okay, thank you. Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? All right, thank you. You
Thank you all
passed.
so much.
All right, late filed, Freddie. Ordinance to amend Title 17, so on and so forth. It is emergency filing only, but we're at Title 17, and this is because your amendment was late filed.
Well, correct. So what happened was we had the amendment material available to the council office timely. There was an administrative issue that didn't result in its timely preparation. So the material is known to everyone who has worked on the bill, as well as my neighbors. This project is actually in my neighborhood, and the amendment reflects community concerns that I really do want to get on the bill. So I appreciate the committee's consideration.
And you're on third and final reading tonight?
Final reading, and this
Okay.
is one that has, because it is associated with Barnes funds, there are some timing issues, so we do want to go ahead and advance it, but the amendment reflects pretty important community concerns that we want to address.
Okay. Any concerns?
Are we just concerned about the timeliness or the content?
This is emergency yeah.
Timely.
Timely.
No consent.
Okay, all right. We'll see you on the floor, and you shouldn't have objections from us. Okay, running through our consent agenda, that takes us to, all resolutions are on consent. Item number 1, RS 2023-1970, honors the life of Professor Vanita Davis Holman. RS 2023-1971 honors the life of Dr. Bobby L. Levitt and recognizing his outstanding leadership and many accomplishments as Professor Emeritus at TSU. Item number 3 recognizes the efforts of Nashville Electric Service employees during the December 2020 severe winter weather. Item number 4, RS 2023-1973 recognizes Pearl Cone High School Firebirds football team as the TSSAA Class 4A Blue Cross Bowl runner-ups. They're just runner-ups. Hopefully the mic didn't. With that, anything need to be pulled off consent? Okay, great. Do I have a motion on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? Wonderful. Taking us to elections and confirmation. And so we're going to start with Mr. Will Cheek. But can we move that cute purse? Thank you. If you don't mind, Will, if you'll bring that seat up to the center to be your hot seat up here with us. The purse just didn't really go with your outfit. And actually, Mattia, we'll take you too, since
Okay,
we're both
Well,
art
I'm
commission.
staying. No way. I've been sitting all day. Seriously.
Well, we have another one. We have another one. Mattia, we've got one more.
I said, well, I didn't have to stand up. I have been sitting all day. Okay.
You'll stand in the chambers, don't worry. All right, so we have Art Commission reappointment of Mr. Will Cheek for a term expiring on January 1, 2027, and a reappointment of Ms. Mattia Powell for a term expiring January 1, 2027. So we're going to take you both up together. The 3 main questions are, do you live in Davidson County? Are you a registered voter here? And do you serve on any other boards and commissions in Metro?
I am a registered voter here. I live in Davidson County. I do not serve on any other boards or commissions in Metro.
I live in Davidson County. I'm a registered voter, and I do not serve on any boards or commissions. Okay.
Excellent. Great. So, Will, Mr. Cheek, why don't you start with telling us what you feel like you've accomplished in your term on the Arts Commission?
Other than COVID.
Yes.
Well, we've got a new executive director, and we're really optimistic about the way things are going. I think that we just took a critical vote on how we're going to allocate funding. We are very focused on what we call equity, which is putting more arts funding and arts support from the Arts Commission into neighborhoods and artists that have been traditionally overlooked by the system. And several of the commissioners are very focused on equity being race, I'm trying to think of names, money, gender, sexual orientation. It's we're trying to go across the board, and I think that we're making really good progress. I was on the Arts Commission under Mayor Purcell, and what we're doing now is so much more remarkable, and I hope that in 4 years it's going to be that much more remarkable.
Mattia?
I've been on the commission now for a full term, and I've really enjoyed working with my colleague, Will Cheek. We have, navigated some really tricky waters over the last few years, the last year and a half, but I do feel like we're going to come out stronger. We did hire a new executive director. In addition to that, in that time, even though we had some challenges, we were able to do a lot of great work. We have expanded the number of organizations that have received arts funding. We have, guiding organizations across the city to be committed to equity and really thinking about their programming and how they're serving communities, which is really the goal, and we've been able to do that. We've had some new programs like Thrive that is really focused on neighborhood art and also focused on artists, which I think we talk about arts organizations, but we also know we are a community of artists as well. And we want artists to be able to be here and thrive and be able to create as well. So we are looking at the whole spectrum of the arts community, and I think we have had some challenges, but we have had some big successes. I have served as vice chair, and somehow they let me be the chair. I don't know why.
It was a unanimous vote.
You must
I
have
don't
been
think
there.
anybody else wanted it. So I'm really looking forward to working with our new executive director, and we're headed towards strategic planning, which we were hoping to be able to do in the future, the past, but now we think we're in a good place to do that. So in addition to like where we think we want to go, we're really in a great position to hear from the community. We've already started doing that. We've had 2 community listening sessions already. The arts community, the art staff is out in the community talking to people, trying to hear from them and what they want, like what they expect from the commission. And we're going to be really hosting a series of sessions in the next few months to really hear from the community so we can create a collective vision about where we're going. So I'm really optimistic and hopeful and excited.
So both of y'all mentioned that there have been challenges, and I think those challenges have been kind of played out, some staffing concerns and issues and different types of accusations. And so can you address a little bit about what the board, as board members, y'all have done to try to course correct or changes that have been made specifically about those accusations?
Yeah, we actually listened to the community and what they expected from us. We made 3 recommendations, and we're trying to keep tabs on each recommendation that was made. One was that we had some outside support for our equity work, and we've been working with the mayor's office with Andrea Blackman. She's been working with the Arts Commission for over a couple of years now, actually, well before anybody else knew what was going on, even well before the commission even knew what was going on. She's been working with the art staff to try to kind of think through and resolve some of those issues. So that was one of the things that has been happening and has continued to happen for a year and a half. And they expected us to bring in some outside supports around that, which we're doing. So we're monitoring those 3 recommendations on where we are. The other thing is, I just will say, there was a lot of conversation about what went wrong, and they're rightfully so. If anybody has ever tried to do equity work in the way that the Arts Commission attempted to do it, it is very challenging. And most of the times, there always are going to be some hiccups. That's just how this work is. If you're trying to upend and change systems that have been in place for hundreds of years, can't expect to think that everything's going to be perfect. And so we're trying to learn from the mistakes that we made, not to remake them. We do have some opportunity where we're going to have to rebuild some trust back in the community. We know that, and we've been focused on that, hence the reason we've been having some of these community meetings. We've opened up our Arts Commission, which, I think to you all, it's probably seems silly that we didn't have a public comment area, but we didn't, because nobody really wanted to comment on things before. But then all of a sudden, everybody wanted to comment. And
We have a 2-minute clock. Looking to the council.
Welcome to council.
So we've opened up public comments in multiple ways, not just so you can come to the meeting and give a public comment. You also can submit a public comment through online. So we're trying to open up the communications so that folks are able to hear from us and we can hear from them. The big change that we did around funding was not only done with just staff, it wasn't done with staff or commissioners, it was done by the art community in itself. There was an art editing process that happened in conjunction with community. And so they kind of directed what the changes were, and we're all on board with those. And so I'm not saying we're not gonna have hiccups, because this work is hard, but I think we've been trying to address those hiccups. We've had solid plans and we've had actionable goals around them. We're opening up more opportunities for people to listen. We're trying to be way more transparent in what we're doing, which, is hard, but we're trying to be more transparent in that. So I do feel like we're headed in the right direction so we don't make those mistakes again. But we're definitely trying our best. I'm not saying, again, that we won't mess up, because this work is hard. But we're definitely going in it focused with community and having community input and buying as much as possible.
Right. Council Lady Hancock.
Just thank you for turning the challenges into opportunities. I appreciate that.
Evans.
And you covered all my questions, so thank you both for serving again, and thanks for stepping up and being chair too.
Rutherford.
They sound great to me.
What they said.
Move to approve.
Yes.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? You're on for, it will be official in there, but you're on for 4 more years. Congratulations and good luck. All right, so we have Emergency Communications District Board appointment of Mr. Domingo? Domingo, right? Okay, great. Santos Gonzalez. So I got it. Come on up to the hot seat. Your term will be expiring on Valentine's Day in February 14th, 2027. And wait, do we have another one? Nope, just you. Okay, great. So, are you a registered voter in Davidson County?
I am,
Do you live here?
yes.
Do you serve on any other boards or commissions in Metro?
Not Metro.
Okay, great. Tell us about, it's a first-time appointment?
Yes.
And so tell us why you'd like to serve.
Just a lifelong learner. Just open to new opportunities and challenges and want to see what I can contribute.
Okay, great. So what strengths do you bring to the board?
I feel like just being available and the opportunity to serve is my biggest strength, but I don't know what those strengths, I don't know what the board requires. I serve on other boards. I serve on the Tennessee Latin American Chamber. I serve on the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. I serve on the Crossings Neighborhood Action Partners Board, and so I think that just volunteering and trying to contribute, trying to just share with community is what makes our community stronger. So for me, that's all the worth it.
Great. John?
Yep.
Dave?
Good.
Aaron?
I don't have anything.
Tanya? All right, move to approve.
Yes.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? Thank you. We'll see you in the big room. Easy peasy, right? All right, solid waste. We got two of you. Come on up.
It's not nice to
One of
call
our,
people.
Solid Waste Regional Board appointment of Dr. Patrick Greiner, for a term expiring December 15th, 2028, and Dr. Emily Jones.
I think she's having traffic issues, so we may defer her if possible.
Okay. Do you want to go ahead and defer her?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what we're going to go ahead and do is motion to defer one meeting. Solid Waste Regional Board. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? All right. So this is your first time appointment, and it is until December 15th, 2028. So tell us why you are willing to, or what your interest in solid waste is.
Do you need to know if I'm a...
Oh, I do. Thank you for catching that. At this point, I'm just rolling through. Are you a registered voter?
I'm a registered voter and a resident, and I'm not a member of any other committees.
Excellent. See, I didn't need to ask you. You've got this. We're good.
If nothing else, he's in because he knows the process.
Yeah. All right. Move to approve. No. So what do you bring to the regional board?
Yeah, so I study environmental justice and climate justice. I'm a professor at Vanderbilt and a community member as well. So solid waste outcomes are pretty important to me, both on a conceptual level and also on a personal level as a young child who lives in the community as well. So in addition to, like the gentleman before me said, being a lifelong learner and being very engaged and interested in the processes that play out in terms of how it is we go about deciding what to do when we're managing our waste, I hope that I could offer some sort of insight into how it is that at a systems level, trying to manage the waste that we produce through production and distribution processes more equitably. Yeah, I guess that's it. How that I could offer some insight into that for the rest of the board members.
Yeah, sounds wonderful. Dave.
Nothing.
Aaron.
Thank you.
I think I'm good. Thank you for serving.
An extensive list of publications. I've read at least 3 of them, so I'm going to have to look the rest up. It's impressive. Tink you for being willing to serve.
I'm good.
All right. Move to approve.
Yes.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, so Tax Incentive and Abatement Study and Formulating Committee appointment of Miss Angel
With
Sims.
one eel.
With one N. But it is correct with Angel.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like we did this last week and then I mixed it up in my head, so I apologize.
Okay, no problem.
So you have been nominated by our Director of Office and the Office of Economic and Community Development for the Tax Incentive and Abatement Study and Formulating Committee. So just to run down, even though it's not 100% on this one, I think, but just to make sure we're covered. Davidson County resident,
Yes.
registered voter.
Yes.
Any other boards or commissions?
No.
Okay, so tell us what you bring to the Tax Incentive and Abatement Study and Formulating Committee, other than finding an acronym for the committee.
I am a lifelong resident of Nashville. I'm a real estate broker, so I have been in this community, growing this community, developing this community. And I think that the tax abatement plays a huge part now in our problem with affordable housing. So I bring my passion, my mission, why I sell real estate, why I work, I do community, I support. I'm in a little bit of everything. So, yeah, and beyond that, my expertise, my experience, my passion, my devotion.
Okay, great. Do you work on any, in your professional realm, do you work on any tax incentive projects currently?
I actually did one many years ago with my church, Jefferson Street Missionary Baptist Church, and we partnered with MDHA. I rehab the apartments now that they have sold for millions of dollars next to my church. I could have killed them, but they did it. And a house on Trutland Street, which actually turned East Nashville. We had the first development of that.
But you don't currently have any that would be before Metro? or
None
anything like that?
before Metro now.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
And if any came up while serving on this committee, would you recuse yourself from the committee?
Yes, but I have people who can work on that. I don't have to do it myself.
Okay, great. John?
I'm good.
Dave?
Great.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good, thank you.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? You're good to go. We will see you in the main room. And I believe that takes us to the end of everything. What did I
Can we
miss?
please vote on the content of my
Oh, I'm
resolution?
sorry, yes. Taking us back to content of winning back-to-back college football playoff national championships, late filed. All those in support?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? All right, thank you, we're done.